she was a park ranger at the park we were playing at. But anyway,
this was the good park, not the bad part.
Right.
Yeah, correct.
No drunk hecklers.
No, absolutely not. They wouldn't tolerate
different
it.
park.
Hello and welcome to WNC Original Music, episode 111, the Nelson episode. This week we have returning a couple of my very favorite guests, not just because they are very talented, but also because they are very, very silly. The Pressley Girls, you may remember, are an acoustic Americana folk duo out of Brasstown, North Carolina. They play a mix of original and traditional music, and they come from a very musical family, which they talk about in the podcast. This is the third and final episode with the Pressley Girls for now. Hopefully, we'll have them back again sometime. Make sure to visit their website, thepresleygirls.com, that's with 2 S's, and also check the show notes for links to their music. And also their social media, including especially their YouTube channel. They have a really fantastic YouTube channel. It's got music, but it's also got a lot of, I don't even know how to describe it, like comedy stuff, personality stuff, interesting historical things. Just really, really cool YouTube channel. So check the link for that, or just search The Pressley Girls on YouTube. Right now, here are The Pressley Girls.
Give the dog a bath, 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 give the dog a bath. I don't want to, but you have to. I don't want to, but you have to. I don't want to, but you have to. I don't want to, but I'm forcing you. I don't want to, but you have to. Fine, because I said so. Give the dog a bath, give the dog a bath, give the dog a bath. Mama yells, oh no! Mama yells, give the dog a bath. Mama yells, wash her feet. Mama yells, and her other feet. Mama yells, dry her off. Mama yells, and wash behind her ears. Now give the dog a bath, give the dog a bath, give the dog a bath. She barks and she growls, 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 barks and she growls. Ow, she bit me. Really? Yeah. Ow, she bit me. Are you alright? Not at all. Ow, she bit me. Should I call someone? No. Ow, she bit me. Are you bleeding? I need a tourniquet. Ow, she bit me. So a Band-Aid won't do? Ow, she bit me. Sorry. Oh. Give the dog a bath, give the dog a bath, give the dog a bath. Where'd the soap go? 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 Dog ate the soap. Really? Yeah. Dog ate the soap. I should have seen this coming. Dog ate the soap. She gonna be alright? Nope. Dog ate the soap. Should we call someone? The vet. Dog ate the soap. She eat all the soap? All 4 bars. Dog ate the soap. Is she foaming at the mouth? Uh-huh. Give the dog a bath, give the dog a bath, give the dog a bath. Dry the dog off, 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 dry the dog off. This never ends well, 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 never ends well. Never give the dog a bath, never give the dog a bath. No way, never give the dog a bath.
Oh, gosh. Give the Dog a Bath, believe it or not, y'all, is the most requested song that we get, most, out of our songs. And I love this song, but sometimes I joke, I'm like, I love Give the Dog a Bath, and it's the most requested song, but y'all, I have other songs that I wrote that are not silly. But we wrote this song, again, about our late dog, but how it come about was we were cleaning, well, I should say my mom was cleaning the house, so like, once a week, the house got clean, the dog got a bath, and we shared a room at the time. We're sitting in our room playing our instruments, and Mom comes down to the hall and says, why don't y'all do something new? Do some new stuff. Quit doing this old stuff. So first we're like, oh, thanks, Mom.
Mom.
That's real nice, Mom. So she's giving...
About your music?
Yeah, she said, she's
yeah.
like, quit doing the... You need to spice it up, do some new stuff. And it's like, well, all right, whatever. So she was actually giving the dog a bath. Mm-hmm. And we thought... We'll show her. We're going to write a song about her giving the dog a bath. And so it turned out as
That'll show her.
Yeah.
It was like a super
You
snarky,
really put her in her
sarcastic.
place.
Yeah, well, it was for a complete joke. And then I don't have no memory of the first time we sung it out somewhere. I'm guessing it was somewhere with kids. Kids love it. So, but adults love it too.
Yeah.
We figured that out. And we sung it as a joke. And now, that's what people know us by. So when people have seen us before, they're like, are you going to do give the dog a bath song? And we were like, yeah. People love it now. And it's just a goof thing.
Yeah,
and it's
totally
funny,
goofy.
It's funny, too, because, this dog, it makes it sound like it was so hard to give her a bath, but it was not. She was this little rat terrier, and she would totally comply. The only thing that made it hard is she would stiff up and then get on the side of the tub.
Yeah,
and
she hugged the tub.
You would have to push her back to be able to wash anything. But other than that, it was not difficult.
Just like our
she never ate the soap. I'll just tell y'all, guys, that she never ate the soap. She never barked. She never bit. That was just an exaggeration.
She just kind of dead weight.
Oh, because you said it in a song.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying, like, everybody, first thing you're going to assume is this dog ate soap.
No, it never
all dogs eat
happened.
soap. Yeah.
But one sweet thing that I'll share, I was emailing her. Her dog had recently passed away.
Your mom.
No. I wasn't emailing my mom. I'm sorry. I had a friend named Caroline.
Oh, okay.
She's at...
How are we supposed to know that?
Yeah, sorry. So
her.
Yeah. So
by her, you mean somebody you have not mentioned all night.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're right. I should clarify that. It makes no sense. Okay. So I was
Work on those
emailing.
antecedents.
Sorry. I was emailing my friend Caroline, and we actually met her at another gig. She was a park ranger at the park we were playing at. But anyway,
But this was the good part, not the bad part.
Right.
Yeah, correct.
No drunk hecklers.
No, absolutely not. They wouldn't tolerate
different
it.
part. Mm-hmm. But her dog had recently passed away, and then when mine did, I emailed her back and was like, oh my gosh, my dog just passed away, and this is so sad. And what she emailed back to me was so sweet. She said, well, Corie, just think about it. Ruby will always go on barking and biting and eating soap in the song like always. And I thought that was the sweetest thing for her to say.
That is the sweetest thing.
Whenever I think about it, I'm like, that's right. Ruby lives on in the song eating soap like always.
Yeah, I'm going to cut out all the other stuff you said and just leave that part.
Yeah.
So that's another one that while my dog was sick, she had doggy diabetes, which is, it's really sad. And while she was sick, before she actually passed away, I I was sad. I'm mourning the loss of my dog, and very shortly after, probably a week after I wrote this little tune, she passed away. And it was about my dog who I loved, and you get really close to dogs. They become family members, cats, pets, any pets, But I think it was more about just the sense of like sadness and grief, but also gratitude that I was feeling at the same time. And I was just, I'm out here crying and I'm sad but I'm so grateful for the time that I've had and having gratitude for all the joy she brought to my life and my friends and my family and all of the music she inspired. And so I think a lot of the times when I play music, it's more about, while I may write the song about something or for someone, it's more about me finding healing and in the music and expressing what I feel and feeling good about that and feeling relief, like I'm able to experience that and kind of let it go out into the world and kind of turn loose of all of those icky feelings, whatever they may be. So Ruby's Boss is kind of just another expression of what I was going through at the time. And of course I loved my little dog and I miss her so, but it's great that we do have the tunes we wrote about her while she was still with us, and we have the tunes that we can write now, and everywhere we go we play these tunes, and it's like she's still there, right? And we still see her running around and doing the goofy things she did. So yeah, I think that's it. So Spiderweb Canyon is a song that I wrote, and it has such a interesting story. It's very interesting. So my grandpa.
So I've heard,
right? So my grandpa that we talked about earlier, he loved to read Westerns. That was kind of his thing. Back in the 70s, 80s, around there, there was some men in the community who kind of had a book, what would you say, a little book trading thing going on. And they would read a Western and then pass it on to the next one. They had this little Western circle going of reading books, and they would share them. And he read, there's no telling how many Westerns he read. He'd say, honey, I read them all, and I'm so old I can't remember none of them. And so I wanted to do it because he did it. I wanted to be just like him. And so there was a particular Western, a particular novel I read called The Lost Wagon Train, and it was a Zane Grey book, and he loved Zane Grey. He wasn't so much for Louis L'Amour. He did like a few Louis L'Amour books, but he loved Zane Grey, and I thought I'm gonna like it too. And if you've ever read some of these older westerns, the language and the way they're written can be a little hard to understand. It's not modern text. It's not modern vocabulary. So as you can imagine, a little 10, 12-year-old kiddo trying to read some of this stuff and make sense of it. But I loved it. It was great, and it was something that we could share. So I read this book called The Lost Wagon Train that he recommended. He actually found the book. It was some of the few that he actually had left that were his that he didn't put back in the little book trade. And he was one of the only ones that he could actually remember the plot. Most of them run together, and he was just old and couldn't remember. But this one he could remember. And every week I would go back to him, and I would have read maybe 30 or 40 pages, and he'd be like, "What's happened now?" And I would tell him, he'd be like, "Oh, just wait till what happens." And so in the book, essentially the book is about a main character who has some Native Americans hanging out with him, and he convinces the Native Americans to rob a wagon train. That's why it's called The Lost Wagon Train. And he says, what's in it for you is when we rob the train, we'll split the plunder, right? We'll split the treasure. And, I guess that was a pretty common thing back then, and that's pretty common material for a Western. And so that's what happens. They rob the wagon train, and they push everyone in the wagons off a cliff. And it's not so nice. But as the Western goes on, the main character starts feeling guilty for what he's done and realizes it wasn't such a great idea. And as he sojourns through his life, he says, I'm feeling low, I'm feeling bad, I want to go somewhere and make a home, make a place, and live out the rest of my days. And he travels far and wide, and he finds this little canyon kind of hidden, and in a lot of geographically and geologically out in some of that country, out toward Utah and Arizona, it would not be uncommon to find some really closed-up thickets between canyons. And that's what he finds. And he says, I'll come in here and I'll seal myself in and I'll stay for the rest of my days. And that's what he does in the book. And everybody is happy and ends happily ever after. But the name of the canyon is Spiderweb Canyon. And so when I wrote the song...
Until you said that, I forgot what song we were talking about.
Right. So, but that's why I have to explain Spiderweb Canyon was kind of the place that the man was longing for.
Snow Day. What?
Yeah, so Spiderweb Canyon is what the man was longing for. It was kind of his destination for the end of his journey. And when I wrote the song, I was expressing the feelings I felt for the loss and the massive grief that I felt for the loss of my grandpa. And fortunately, up until that point in my life, I'd never lost anyone that close, and so it was a massive shock, and it was really rough, and I was having a really hard time going through that grief process. And no one can show you the way; you have to walk through that yourself. So I come up with this song, and it was just kind of a little sad and pleading melody. That's what I felt like when I wrote it, and then I thought, what is something that, what do I want to entitle this in tribute to him, and I thought about something that we shared, and it didn't matter if anyone else understood it, but it's something we shared together. And so I thought, that's it. My grandpa was a very spiritual person, and he knew, and he wrote songs that talked about, this isn't my home, in this life I don't belong, in this life I'm just going home. That was the lyrics of a song that he wrote, and I thought, that's it. At the end of the book, that was where he wanted to go. That was his paradise, and my grandpa's paradise was heaven, and he knew his time was, at that point, his time was sooner than later as he got older and had some health problems. So I wrote that song. It meant a lot for me. It meant a lot to my family. Later on, one of our great musician friends, David Kaner in New England, I got to be careful, I'll get emotional here. My little eyes will well with tears. He has been a great friend and a great companion and a great musician, and he heard this song that I wrote, and he's all the way up in New England, and he said that, wow, I really like this song. It's a beautiful song, and while he lives in Massachusetts, he was the director of the Western Mass Orchestra, and he was also the director of the Vermont Fiddle Orchestra. And he heard this song, and he took it to the orchestra there, and he taught it to him. He wrote music. He's transcribed some music out for it, and he taught it to him, and they played it. The Vermont Fiddle Orchestra played my song at one of their concerts in the Bear Opera Music Hall up there in Montpelier, Vermont, the capital of the state there. And he sent me a recording, and I bawled my little eyes out. Yeah. And it was so special to think that a song that meant so much to me and something that I felt healing in, again, grief and gratitude, but healing in. Other people were able to find that. And he said at that time there were some people in the orchestra going through some hard things in their personal lives, and they had seemed upset and just kind of down, And he said that the song kind of brought healing for some people. So back in April, we actually went up. It's full, this is full circle. The story it's really full circle. So up we went to Massachusetts and Vermont, Connecticut, that area. We were just kind of touring around, hanging out, playing music with our friend David. This was back in the spring in April. And we were fortunate enough, we played with the Western Mass Orchestra, and we also drove up and stayed a couple days with a friend in Montpelier, Vermont, and we played in their spring concert, and they played my song. And so I was able to join them on stage and play my song with them. And it was just the most surreal experience that here I am, this little girl in Western North Carolina, writing original music. Here, honest to goodness, here I am doing that. And my music was shared, however many miles away in New England. And to be completely honest, you want to talk about full circle. We talk about my grandpa being the start of things. Well, the song was for my grandpa, and there was a lot to be said. It was, I owe it all to him. It was kind of born right out of that. So out of all the music I've wrote, a lot of it, again, is personal. It's for me to find my way through things. And I think when you give something, when you give the gift of music, the feelings that you give with are the feelings that are felt when that gift is received. Mm-hmm. And I think that love and emotion come through there, and it's probably one of my favorite songs because of that, and it's probably one of my more serious and emotional songs because of that. It has such quite a story, and I'm telling you, you don't know what's going to happen down here in these little isolated places. Down here in Western North Carolina, there's a lot happening, a lot of music, you would be surprised. I mean, it happens everywhere, but you'd be surprised.
That's really sweet.
I mean, he really is so much of the stage and the backdrop for all of our music and success is him. So,
more from the Pressley Girls in just a few moments. Want to remind you to check out their website, thepresleygirls.com. Also, check the show notes for links to their music and their social media. And like mentioned before, check out their YouTube page. Very entertaining stuff there. Also, follow the podcast at WNCoriginalmusic.com. or search WNCoriginalmusic.com wherever you get your podcasts. Also, check the show notes. Again, always check those show notes. You never know what's going to be in the show notes. But check the show notes for the Instagram and Facebook and other social media pages for the podcast. And if you listen on iTunes or Apple, make sure to go to the app or the page and leave a rating for the podcast if you like it or if you don't like it. Either way.
Hi, my name is Mike Blair of Mike Blair and the Stonewalls from Wilmington, North Carolina, and you're listening to WNC Original Music.
Day. That is such a fun song.
Oh,
so
yeah.
that is exactly what it sounds like. I wrote that song about a snow day. I even think I might have been in school. Oh my goodness, I may have been in college at that time, and or who knows, in school probably, some sort, some grade level there, and it's exactly what it sounds like. I woke up, I realized I wasn't going to class, and there was snow on the ground. I wanted to go outside. I wanted to play. I was just really lighthearted and happy. So I wrote a tune that kind of followed suit in a super hippity-hoppity way. A fun thing about it is it has an A part, a B part, and a C part. So it's a 3-part song. So it would be great for a square dance, something like that.
And it's a sweet tune because who does not love a snow day? Whether you get off from school or work or whatnot, I love the snow. Love the snow. It's very beautiful. Everything's in white. Everything is just stands out. It's very beautiful. I love the tune too.
Yeah, as my college English teacher, Miss Suzanne Letford, said, and she may hear this and she'll laugh if she hears us mention her name. She used to say, "Now, Katie, there's only 2 equalizers in this life: death and snow. Death, because it unites us all. We will all experience it at some time. And snow, because snow makes the ugliest beautiful. Snow makes everything beautiful." So, yeah.
I know I can hear him, and I can't touch him. I can't see his face, and it's nothing to deserve his grace, but he gave
there was a song that I wrote several years ago. It was either 2013, 2014. It was something that I just kind of wrote in passing. I jotted down in a notebook and then forgot about it for like a good while. And then I found the notebook again and was like, oh, wait a minute. This is actually not too terrible bad. And then I rewrote it from there. And it's a spiritual song. I'm a spiritual person. I believe in God. And it's a song, that's just kind of saying, hey, he's there. And it's hard to have faith in anything that you can't see, whether you believe in God, whether you believe in something else. It's hard to have faith when you can't see, you don't have actual physical, we do have physical proof in the Bible and whatnot, but, for me, it's just very spiritual and very important. I'm trying to think what else I can say. And I think our music definitely is, I think we both feel very grateful and very blessed, like it is a talent from the Lord, and we want to use it. I thoroughly enjoy it. I love playing music, but I want to use it to help other people. I want to be able to make people laugh and make people feel like they're understood and hope people like it.
Yeah, I think that song really does speak to the spiritual element of how we feel about our music, and I do like to say I'm a spiritual person, and sometimes I'm not such a fan of saying I have religion, because I think saying I'm spiritual just means however you relate to whatever it is you relate to, and however your relationship with God unfolds. It's different for everybody, so I think that song really speaks to everyone's own experience with God, and He is real, even though you can't see him. What does that mean to you? How do you interact with him? How do you feel him on a daily basis, through prayer, through gratitude, other things? But
it also means too. I think everybody wants to believe in some kind of higher power.
Yeah, greater
us,
good. Amen.
Yeah. For us, that's God. But everybody I think wants to have that, to believe we're here for a reason and something's
greater
going
good.
On. So
absolutely. So I think it's a great. It's a great
song.
And
it's a tribute, just like, man, thanks, Jesus.
It's in praise. Yeah. Thanks,
Jesus.
man.
Thanks, Jesus, that's right.
Thanks, man.
That's how I say grace. Thanks, Jesus.
Yeah.
Right at you, big guy.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have any, you guys from a small town, your family's religious, spiritual, how you say?
Yeah.
Probably, I'm guessing the community is more than maybe like the metropolitan areas, like the Brown Bag Songwriting Company. But more like, do you ever get any like pushback about that kind of thing?
Not where we live.
Yeah.
No, for the
no, I mean like more like
other
if you
places.
play, if you go up to Vermont or something like that, if you were to play something like that, that den of heathens. Yeah.
I think it really depends. I think it wouldn't be as popular there, not necessarily because they may not be spiritual as well, but part of where we live, it's just like so Bible Belt, so like gospel, hymn, old time kind of thing, and it's a little bit New England music. It's different than old time and that kind of stuff. But I do also think it will be different because living in the Bible Belt, you do have, I feel like, that's a big old pocket in the U.S. of Christianity. Now, it's everywhere, it's all over the world, but
if somebody comes to see you guys, they're coming to see old time music.
Yeah.
So either they have an appreciation of Christianity or religion or spirituality, or
they're accepting.
They're accepting of it, like culturally, like like I think of people who like NPR listeners, like people who listen to WNCW.
Yeah.
Like that's really popular in Asheville.
Yeah.
But a lot of Asheville are, like agnostics or heathens or whatever you want to call them.
No.
But no, they're but they listen to WNCW. A lot of old time religious songs there. They're not saying, "Oh, I'll turn that off," So they have an appreciation of it.
And I think we have both. We have both of those categories that you just said. It shows we have some people who are like, "Oh man, yeah, we believe in Jesus too," but then we also have people who don't, but they love it. They like our music, and we don't play strictly gospel. We play a mix. We play some gospel hymn stuff.
And again, I think it does go back to the love and the feeling that you put in your music is received, and so it may not be so much the words for other people, and maybe it's a spiritual song, but it's not the words and the connection to God for them, but just the love and the earnest and honest way we come across with it. But I would say we've been very blessed and very lucky, and we haven't received a lot of flack or anything about that. And I think it's pretty simple. My pap used to tell me, Katie, what's the worst you can do? You can get on stage and you can play, and if someone don't like it, they'll go away, and they don't have to listen.
Or heckle you.
Yeah,
Or
once in a while.
or heckle you once, right?
Yeah,
Once,
but mostly just go away.
It's the same thing. I mean, I think people who come to see us, who know us, know that's part of it.
And I don't ever want to push anything on anyone. We just
no,
play,
absolutely not.
and I hope people like it, and I think 99% of the time people do, and if they don't, that's okay too. They don't have to listen.
All right, I really want to thank the Pressley girls. They are just a lot of fun, really sweet young ladies, and I really appreciated them being on the show. Again, don't forget to go and listen to them at thepresleygirlsmusic.com. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, WNC Original Music, or go to WNCOriginalmusic.com, but you can find it at all your favorite podcast locations. Also, it's available on Pandora, and you can play it on your smart speaker by saying, Alexa, play podcast WNC Original. I whispered Alexa because I didn't want everybody's Alexa to go off. Also, follow the podcast on Facebook and Instagram. Just search WNC Original Music. You can't go wrong. For our closing song this week, very happy to have a track from Piedmont Temperance Movement. They are a 4-piece string band from the Charlotte area of North Carolina, my hometown. You can find them at PiedmontTemperanceMovement.com and also search their Bandcamp page, PiedmontTemperanceMovement.bandcamp.com. Here is Piedmont Temperance Movement. Have a good week.
Made of white oak, cut down before the wars. Walls that have heard the dreams and schemes of many men. I still see you sitting there in that second-hand rocking chair. A baby lulled to sleep by the song again. Borrowed tune in a borrowed room on borrowed time beneath a borrowed moon. Rocked and a weathered hand-me-down, holding you up, holding you up. Roll back years in shades of brown. Now is enough, now is enough. We'll walk past carbon curve. A life inscribed in old hardwood by the days that know crush on a rolling stone. 2 chips off the block shake the rafters loose. We built those beams under a common star, past lights singing over who we are. Hand in hand we stumble toward the truth. Borrowed tune in a borrowed room, on borrowed time beneath a borrowed moon. Rock that weathered hand me down, holding you up, holding you up. Roll back years in shades of brown. Now is enough, now is enough. We'll want path carved and curved. Life inscribed in old heart wood. All things are meant to pass along to hands whose work is carried on by the days that know us. By the days that know us. By the days that know us.
If I Could Paint a Garden. That's a Cher song, isn't it? If I could
It's a my
paint
song. It's a Corie
garden,
song.
If I could draw a lawn, something like that. Does that sound familiar?
No, I don't know.
I'm kind of